Everyone knows pirates are the strongest.
Please consider supporting me on Patreon for bonus perks. It could really help me make more toy reviews.
Ahoy! We're heading straight to the 12th and final metal Cardbot, the most famous and sought-after scallywag of the 7 seas, the pirate ship Black Hook. Okay, back to normal talk. Yeah, it's still the same packaging design style, with the ship sailing on top of bloody red waters. Yep, some action line here. Broadside shot. I just noticed there's a planet behind here. In the back, we have the ship again, just this time swimming in blue stormy seas. And there's the Black Hook metal card Captain Cannon. Yeah, so July of 23, the Sam G Entertainment and Godbray Studios. Let's crack this booty. First, I show thee the robot mode. Just very much a pirate, like a somewhat proportioned style, like with a smaller torso, but it still has pretty big broad shoulders and like some fancy decorated shoulders. And yeah, we have the yellowish gold plastic, kind of swirly. Yep, that's very swirly there. Don't worry about GPS, I'm sure it doesn't have GPS. And some more yellowish brighter gold. That's really uncommon shade to see. These are nice red painted here, and then yeah, also the sails, like what forms the sails are also a different shade of gold. So how they get a paint mix of 2 different golds? And then the rest throughout, you can see like this plastic is actually a very nice speckle blue. It's very speckled and dark blue, like very starry and sparkly. Yeah, that's a very uncommon color. This really do be looking like a Captain robot that doesn't look like it transforms. And of course, you gotta love the Captain's head. Like a big old tricorn style hat. You can see the main head there, like with the entire brim all around. And some very 2 pronounced folds. With like a star crest in the middle there. Nicely painted, maybe a little bit less white on the top there. And I guess the sides of the ears, if you can see that, they do kind of look like they have what kind of look like skulls. And then a nice painted face. This is one of the few Cardbots with an actual molded pupil. Some white there on some gold eyes, really nice splash of color. And a red eye patch with a mark in it. And a nice white painted faceplate with a red toothed chin that kinda looks like it could imply a beard. And of course the side guards, yeah, really extend from the narrow faceplate. Yeah, a bit of the sunken in cheek look for a robot. And the torso design is really neat too, like these gold colors here, the red paint here. Though there's a bit of a light splash of gold that kind of bled over on the red paint and the side here. Slimy. You also gotta love how this center white piece here does kind of look like that Victorian style, like ruffled jabot collar. You know, those frilly collars. Yeah, much more recognized design, yes, I love that. Some of that more gold here. And a big old belt buckle. The arms are also pretty nice, like with this simple but ornate, like the decorated shoulders that look like the sides of the ship, and some very obvious anchors on the forearms on top of this gold plastic. We have a stylized backpack. I guess these kind of look like missile pods. And then just kibble on the back. Pretty hollow. Looks like this would be a good place for jet thrusters, which they actually have in the show. So why they couldn't design that? Now building on the animation model. Yeah, the torso, I guess it's much more filled in rather than this skinny torso, and then the shoulders are actually closer together, not this big shoulder gap. The forearms are just more narrower at the bottom, also little arrows, and I guess these gold sides are more pronounced. Noticeably, he has hip skirts and side skirts that this thing just doesn't have all together. Some red painted tops for the sails. I guess as for the head. Yeah, it looks very similar. More of a black pupil than a white pupil, but at least this has a pupil. And I guess the backpack kind of shrinks up. You can kind of see there's a jet thruster there. Yeah, but it doesn't really hang over the back here. And comparing it with the card weapon stock photo, you can see more of the arm here, which has a vent here that obviously is not here. And these shoulder extensions with the green lights, you can see more clearly here. And there are those jet thrusters you can see more clearly that also look like shrunken kibble. And why the animators make a side skirt or a front skirt, and instead of just adding more facets to add a complexity in animating, just made the legs clip through the stock photo. His main weapon is this hook or anchor. Is that why you call it black hook? Is this the black hook? I don't know. Upside down, this does look like an anchor. Put it in the hand. It does look like a pickaxe. And this is kind of like a very long cone, so it's not the most secure connection because it really only frictions in at the point where this hand meets it, so it's easy to pop out or fling out. And I guess that kinda technically makes this 5mm. But his hands are too big for 5mm. Also, of course, there's a fan mode, but you could just fold it in like this to make a fish hook. A hook for fishing fish. And for his metal card weapon, the main card, which is also on speckled blue. Yeah, transparent black plastic. Double hinge. Yeah, fold that down. Slide this out. Both sides. Yeah, there's a clip right on front of the shoulder. And then you can flip out the targeting scope here. And that's his captain cannon for the captain shot. Broadside shot. Yeah, maybe the right on the shoulder maybe not the most ideal because you can only aim straight forward. And then you had to move the arm alongside it. Maybe would have preferred it to be right on the backpack. Yeah, but yeah, this is nice, the big old black cannon with a painted gold. And the only transparent green part on this thing. Anyway, yeah, so you can view through this, and why is the scope on the side with the eye patch? This is just a fake eye patch. You can open up his eye patch. But of course, that's too tiny to do on the actual head. If you haven't seen the show, you're not going to know that, and you assume it's just a super decision. For the articulation, a nice ball-socketed head that has enough side to side and up and down. Very expressive. Nice clickety ratchets here. And then hinged outward. Soft ratchets elbows over 90 degrees and bicep swivels. And a transformational wrist swivel, which is a great sword-wielding wrist for holding his hook like this. Nice clicky ratchets. And then clicky ratchets outward. And nice clickety, almost 90-degree elbows and thigh swivels. And a toe outward. We almost forgot these little clicky deploy heels for better standing on the ground. This looks like a really great spot for a waist. Yep, easily the most articulated metal Cardbot because he has bicep and thigh swivels. Yeah, thigh swivels are a luxury. And he doesn't need them for transformation, so that's great. Black Hook be a great leader size. An appropriate size compared to Deluxe's. He towers over the other Voyager-sized Cardbots, but either he could be bigger or they could be smaller. Now onto the transformation. Yeah, the feet down, all the way down. hook here. There is the square tab. Rotate that forward. Bit complicated with the back panels here. Just make sure that this gold bit is to the back, and then just kind of force that in. Turn it around. And then just turn that around. Turn that around. Okay, and then lift up the sails. Epic moment there. And ahoy, we got a pirate ship. The treasure that is a robot that turns into a Galilean-style like sail ship. Because, you know, boats are a real rarity. I mean, this looks like a very nice, like, futuristic, mechanical type of ship. A ship that has the same color sail as the rest of the body. Very nice, ornately detailed with the gold stars and a shark. Reminds you of Captain Shark. Of course, the rear cabin section is just basically the robot folded up. Only the, I guess this hollow area is just a bridge without anything on it. And then you have the side ornate details on there at least. And of course, visible head. There's that pretty big visible head there. Would have been a great spot for a steering wheel. So yeah, the best you can do is just turn the head around and hope you don't look it this way. Nice shaped bow here, a little hollow underside there. Of course, could use some jet thrusters to fill that in with a pretty solid front here. Nice bow, it's a big curved bow, like a hooked bow, something can get caught on it. Not sure how advantageous that is. The center here is kind of deep enough. It's kind of shallow, but has a bit of a railing over it. Those red spots are the cannons, of course. Just shooting at enemies. And of course, the signature metal Cardbot eyes with a bit of a white shine there. Oh, barnacles. Looks like there's been some gold paint splatter right on here. Kind of look like golden barnacles. And this one has a molded scar on this eye. Yeah, so compared to the other Cardbot eyes, they look like they could be perfectly natural as natural decorations for a ship. So there really is no need to remove them for like realism because what's so realistic about a flying pirate ship? And if we compare this with the animation model, one thing is apparent that they really shifted the parts here. Like this entire torso area actually moves all the way down to the deck here. And also kind of look like slides in place. Like this could look like this slide in place. I mean, can you imagine how that transformation worked with just extra parts to move this down here and then the sail on the legs somehow move up here? I mean that it's honestly cooler to have this like right at the deck instead of just hiding behind the sails, but that's a little complicated. I mean, that's much of an animation difference, and that's very significant. Also, because the torso down here looks like this area will be a bit more filled. There's at least a vent behind the deck here, the poop deck. There's the red trimming right on top of here. And the hook colors are inverted. Yeah, so that actually would look better. It would flow better if the hook was gold and this was blue instead of the other way around that the toy has. Then again, this blue flows with the bow, although that looks a little detached. And of course, very different eye styles. That's yellow with the oval pupils. And unpainted cannons. Yeah, a bit of subtle differences, but yeah, that torso alignment is the most significant one. Interesting symbols behind the legs that are mirrored. Or is it this way? Could be a signature. Could just be extra symbols. Depending on how you look at it, this could be a small clipper or a massive galleon. It's a definite case of size shifting when Buster Gallon could fit in the entire deck. I don't need to tell you that Captain Black Hook is the most coveted Cardbot of them all because of the pirate ship, the rare Galilean pirate ship that Hasbro has not made. Yeah, I guess, yeah, he just really tops the demand list. Second to Heavy Iron. I mean, Heavy Iron is second. And so I imagine they're still plentiful yet, but I don't know how many months it'll take before like the top 3 popular Cardbots will be sold out in Korea, and whether they'll run another production run. He'd probably take any bot in his Black Crew, especially the other Korean pirate transformer. Captain Zack would make a good first mate, who I just learned that both the DX and the Mini are sold out rarium. Shiver me timbers. And on his home shore, he goes surprisingly low as 30, which is just like 2 more than the other small Voyager card bots. How are they budgeting this out that they're this affordable and pretty good for what they are, even though allegedly their plastic is not good as the pinnacle standard Tobot? Yeah, so size isn't everything. The fact they can sell like a leader size for like a Voyager and then the commander size for a leader, pretty impressive locally, so it kind of helps with the shipping. And a give thanks to Chanisu for designing and modeling this excellent toy. For Black Hook and his crew, Buster Gallon and Buffalo Crush, all 3 of these as a collective. I want the crew to stay together as they go out.